Hello, this is Marianne McGuire of Let Go and Know. I'm so happy that you're here with me. Today, I wanted to talk a bit about systems and structures in our everyday life. Because I've noticed that we can feel so pressured around what we should be feeling, what we should be doing and achieving. And there's this kind of addiction that comes from living in the mind to finding a system, because if we don't find the right system, well, then, we're not whole. And it's something that happens unconsciously, and it's rife, it's everywhere. And I wanted to offer some comfort from my point of view. I mean, see if this resonates with you. Some comfort in suggesting that perhaps we don't need a system at all, because we think even spiritually that we'll get what we're looking for if we find the right system and then we'll become enlightened. Whereas, what if the truth was that you're enlightened already? And what if you allowed your connection to yourself and to divine love be your system? And I have found that this is all related to searching. And that even though it sounds wonderful and you think you're on the right path when you're searching, sometimes it can be a huge distraction and an actual block from your feeling true peace within yourself. And I know this because I did it. So I had this profound spiritual experience when I was a child, and then I was conditioned. So when I hit 18, as it happened, I started my search. And that search lasted for a couple of decades. And then one day I stopped. I stopped searching because I received an insight that completely stopped me in my tracks. And I stopped seeking what I was looking for, and I realized that it was within me all along. And that, as I knew all along, I was one with divine love, with my source, with God. And I rested there. I rested here, to be more accurate. Now, I'm saying this to offer you some comfort, but look, I know that your ego might say, but how? How do I do that? Because it's tempting, but then you think you can't do it. But I'm here to say you can, because it's your true nature. And what's getting in the way is living from the false self. And everybody does this, it's not your fault, we're all conditioned to do this. But if you lived more from who you really are, then you'd realize, oh, it's within me now. And all I have to do is allow it, to welcome it. It's there already. It doesn't even need an invitation. So it's not that you don't know what to do or you don't know how to do this. Your ego doesn't. And as long as you live from your ego, you won't find what you're looking for, because the ego is addicted to searching. So what I would say to you is, what I would suggest to you is, go within, come into yourself. Just begin to be open, to be willing to live more from who you really are in your everyday life. And then it becomes effortless. Then you're aligned. It goes beyond aligned with who you really are. You are it already. But just begin to live from who you really are more every day, and you will find there's nothing to search for. So the question is, which are you going to identify with? And you can remind yourself every day. It's a question, then you develop the habit, and then you can fall into that choice easily in your everyday life. So it's a question of directing your attention towards the false self or who you really are, because you have a choice. We're all conditioned to identify with the ego. That's why things can get so messy. The false self is in control too much of the time. So just begin to be who you really are. And it goes beyond identification, because that implies separation. Just be who you really are. It's a choice. It's right there. It's closer than your breath. It's right there. But we miss it. We think we have to reach out beyond ourselves, always looking outside of ourselves for fulfillment. Oh, maybe if I get this perfect job, maybe if I set up this perfect business, maybe if I found my soulmate, or if my bank account was bigger, maybe if we had more competent politicians, well, then I'd be happy. Then I'd be able to exhale. Where the truth is that the peace you're looking for resides within you always. You are always looked after. You are presence itself. And you can connect with this truth, with this presence, to help you live this life on planet Earth, because we can't deny that. We've been conditioned, we're living on planet Earth. It can get difficult, and you have the answers that you desire within you. It's so, so magical, and you have access to it. It's just a question of going within and allowing it to happen, and stop searching. Stop searching from a place of fear, and instead explore from a place of juicy desire and curiosity. I'll give you an example to do with health and superfood and all of that. I'm very much into superfood. But I do notice that many people consume superfood and are, kind of really into healthy living. But it's from a place of fear. It's because they don't want to get a disease rather than the sheer love of how taking chlorella or spirulina or something that's high in vitamin C like goji berries, how that makes them feel. I mean, the sheer joy of it every time if I grow anything, I get excited. Every time I put a seed in the ground and it turns into a sprout, I just get excited. And I've been doing it for years, and it just, it never gets old. I just think it's miraculous. And then when I get my superfoods, it's like, wow, turbocharged. I just feel it's such a gift from nature, these highly nutrient packed, highly nutritious foods that we get to consume. I was like, wow, it's amazing. And they make me feel so amazing that I do it for the love of it. So I would really love if you are doing something out of fear, that you just maybe switch your perspective and do it from love instead, because it just makes your everyday life so much more juicy. And then back to what I was saying, especially when it comes to seeking, because we think, well, we can't relax until we find God. And it just takes a little shift in perspective that God is within you. You need to stop searching in that fearful way outside of yourself, or you'll never find what you're looking for, because you're looking outside of yourself for something that doesn't exist. Of course, it does exist. It exists in everything, outside, within, and without. But first of all, you have to go within, and it's there. I know this in my heart. I know you do too. And I really do want to offer comfort. I felt it. I knew it when I was a child, before I was conditioned. So it's not like I read it in a book or something. And I'm here to tell you that it is within you. It is within your every cell. It dances within your every cell. And if you feel like crap, it's because it's been covered over. Your golden, mellifluous, beautiful light has simply been covered over by the layers of conditioning that have been imposed upon you, words that have been spoken over you. It's all part of living here, and it makes the emergence so much sweeter when you realize this and blossom and let go. You know what? You don't even have to let go. You just make a choice to live from who you really are, and it begins to emerge. Your light begins to shine, and you feel the comfort and the security envelop you in your everyday life. So you can just relax and live from joy and love, because joy and love, this is your true nature. And you can go through your day, of course. If you want to follow a system, wonderful. But do it from a space of the love of it, because it's fun and exciting. And it might be just what you need at this particular point in your life. But don't feel that you can't move forward unless you have a system. I mean, my work, I was given 3 tools from Spirit. Not really a system, more 3 tools to deal with in your everyday life. One takes a minute, one takes, about 20 minutes, and one's instantaneous. So yes, sometimes we need tools, but don't feel that you have to belong to something in order to succeed spiritually, because that's not what it's about. So just examine your reasons for following a system and make sure that you're doing it out of the love of it. And just let go of all pressure. Stop pressuring yourself. It's all about living from who you really are, from presence. And it transforms your life into bliss. And you're not going to feel bliss all the time because we live on planet Earth, but there's always, you can feel this, it's like a foundation all the time, because it never changes. And it's only a question of you tapping into what exists already. Remember, you don't have to create anything. Do you know what I mean? Because I think people reach out for systems because they think, I have to do this, I have to create it. So much pressure. Take the pressure off. And when you live from who you really are, you are naturally present. So that when challenges come into your life, they are met without as much fear. And it's like you're carried through them, and there isn't as much charge around them. And you've got this security. You can cry, you can embrace all your emotions, you can be sad, you can grieve, but it's without this charge and this added weight of resistance. And that's when life becomes very, very sweet, and you really start to appreciate the gift of life. And I think it's a really good idea to have structure in your life. I love that. I mean, I love every day stretching, doing yoga, taking my superfoods at a certain time of the day, meditating, going for a walk, grounding myself, whatever it may be. I do recommend doing things at a certain time of the day to give you structure, but that's more like support. That's doing things to support your mind, your body, your spirit. That's absolutely wonderful. And systems are wonderful too. All I'm saying is be careful about what perspective you're approaching the system from. Is it from a feeling of, well, I'm not, this will be unconscious by the way, I'm not enough and I need to find a system to fix me. Then I'll be enough. I mean, we don't think that consciously, but if you really sit down and go within, you might think, oh my God, is that what I'm thinking? So just examine your motivations for doing anything. And remember, you are enough now. You are enlightened now. Who you really are is enlightened now. And you can choose to live from your spirit rather than from your conditioning. And you can choose to respond from love and not from fear. So when things get scary in your life or on a world stage, remember you can go within and respond from love, not fear, and it just makes all of the difference. And what I would say is let love be your system. Let love be your system. Everything shifts when you love yourself and when you live life from love. And when it's difficult to love, those who have hurt you, don't push yourself. Just choose to be in love. Don't force yourself to forgive if you're not ready. Just choose to be in love. In a state of love generally. You don't have to push it if you're not ready. And when you do this, a shift literally happens on a quantum level. When I was a small child, I had the knowing that love was in the space of everything. And you can tap into that love. It's real. It's more real than anything that's going on a outward level in your life. Love never changes. Love is what is real. It's in the space of you. It's the real you. And you don't need a system to discover it. You just allow it, you welcome it, you be it. It's yours already. Don't make things complicated. This is what I mean. I know all about that. I've been there. So please remember this point. Get this point. This keeps being offered to me. When you're pressuring yourself that, you need to be more and do more, or be better, or fix yourself, or get the perfect system, and then you'll be enlightened. When you were a small child, you were in this state. You were doing this. You were being this. You were present. Nobody taught you how. You weren't following a system because it was your true nature. Keep coming back to that. You have this within you. It's only because you've been conditioned that you've forgotten that you are infinite and eternal and beyond this realm. We've actually been conditioned to feel powerless because the false self says, how? It hears this and it gets frustrated and says, how? I need a system. And you don't. That's what I'm saying. When you come from ego, you need systems, you need ways of doing things because the ego loves to complicate things. So that's why I'm saying don't even bother trying to change the ego. Love yourself, love that part of you that's feeling frustrated, and then live from who you really are. It's that shift that changes everything, because you'll only continue to get frustrated if you keep coming from the false self, because the ego's addicted to looking for systems and figuring everything out, and it'll drive you crazy. So just send love, be love to that part of yourself that's feeling frustrated. Because what happens is you think you need a system, and then you'll find something, and then it'll be great. But you will do nothing until you find that system, and that system, may not exist. Or you'll try another and another and another, and you get more disheartened, and you can end up doing nothing when you actually have the option of going within, closing your eyes and allowing your truth to be felt. Just sit, close your eyes, allow. That's a start. No technique or tool or system is needed, really, because this is your true nature. They can be wonderfully, wonderfully, wonderfully helpful. There's no doubt about it. But don't think that they are absolutely necessary to your happiness, because the ego needs a structure to hold onto. Because it's like, it's on the outside. I have to hold on to something. I have to hold on to something. It says the freedom, the sense of spaciousness of doing nothing and tapping into your truth is so scary to the conditioned mind. And you can find yourself then with the best of intentions, searching and reaching outside of yourself constantly, and decades can pass. When being is right here in every moment, ready to hold you in comforting bliss. So remember, you are infinite. You are eternal. You are pure love beyond this realm. The time has come for you to stop limiting yourself and allow your truth to be felt so that you can live from who you really are. I loved being with you today. And if you want any more information or a free gift, go to letgoandknow.com. Much love.